Good morning. As you can see, I've already got my UV suit on. It is 12 o'clock and I've just checked out. Today I got a slow day. Well, not a slow day. I've got a 55-kilometer day. So I basically spent the morning planning a route to the capital city, Kuala Lumpur, and planning it back to my master route. So tomorrow night I'll be spending the evening in the capital. Today I'll be spending it just a little bit closer to where I currently am, and tomorrow morning I'll head out and weave my way through into the capital. I must never complain about the amount of traffic in Port Elizabeth. The drivers, yes, but the amount of traffic, I must never complain about it. And this place, more speed bumps than South Africa. It's insanely frustrating. I can imagine how it must be for the motorists. Every country where I've traveled, the least speed bumps they have, the happier the drivers are and the better they drive. The more speed bumps they put down, the more aggressive. The mornings are always brutal. It's, well, not even the mornings, just leaving the towns that you stayed in. Let's see this this new alternate route that I've created today. Well, it's basically a hybrid route of my master route. I've just extended it a little bit to give me a little bit more of the day, as it's going to be a short day on the kilometers. Now I've really noticed over the weeks traveling from Bangkok to Singapore, now that I'm starting to get closer and closer to the equator, I can really feel that UV rays start to shine more directly. So I'm going to have to start covering up a lot sooner and leaving on a lot later. Yeah, I could feel that that burn that I received yesterday morning. Now I will fall a little bit short of reaching the equator. It does lie a little bit south of Singapore, and that being the end of the land, there's no way I'll reach the equator. That's all right. I'm not gonna miss those direct sun rays anyway. Tree has really reclaimed that bit of land. Along this whole stretch, we're holding a new property project, residential property project, and it will probably have little shops in it as well. So it's like a little mini town, and that's what they often do here. They want this ultra clean place to live in. As soon as they leave their house, they're back in that shit, that filth. And yeah, this is the old neighborhood, the original neighborhood, you know, just across the road. So you're immediately stepping into this filthy place, you know, all dilapidated. Ah, hey, so this is where you're gonna come do your nails and get your feet massaged. As soon as you step foot outside the massage parlor, you're standing in crap, broken glass, trash everywhere, open sewers. And then you get that thing there in the distance, busy trying to indoctrinate the people of the town. That's why I prefer places like this where you can just come here and do your own thing, and you're not forced on some other type of belief. That's blazing from that loudspeaker on the top of that tower. That's not from here. Unfortunately, I couldn't wait up forever for that to stop. Now they've got some traditional clothing that you can put on and go do your rituals. I'm extremely open to all cultures and religions. I've got no issue with that. But where I draw the line is that when any group of anybody, can be anything, not just religious, anything political, when you just publicly try to push your perspective, or there's a better word, but I can't just think of it right now. When you push that on to somebody else in the public, that's where my line is drawn. Free will is what I'm all about. Let the people choose for themselves what they want to do and believe in. Just down the road. Now what I've noticed with a lot of these temples, these Taoist temples, they seem to all have some type of cave feature. So I wonder what the symbolic purpose of it is. I quickly just read up on those caves. They represent the gateway to the heavens, the gateway to the immortals. That's why this country is such a spaghetti bowl, is because they're not on the same page with each other. You can just imagine how messed up their political system is. Basically half the states in Malaysia start their weekend on Friday and Saturday, and the other half of the states start their weekend on a Saturday and Sunday. The longer I'm here, the more I start to understand why it's such a mess. We'll go into something like that, and then it will start to look like that, and then eventually it will look something like that weird thing. Nothing to write home about, but it is a memory. An old quarry. Big old quarry. Quarry. I was just a bit frustrated with the places where it's just late check-ins, and then what makes it even worse is that the people only start to check in at like 9:30, when it's time to go to bed, and then they make so much bloody racket. They're the most inconsiderate things under the sun. It's like they must slam every door, drag every type of furniture across the place. If there's a communal living space, then they think that it's their house, and they just carry on. The kids just shout and scream till 12 o'clock. I kid you not. They're happy just to get 5 hours sleep, 4 hours, 3 hours even, you know. That's how they are. They retire at 40 and they're dead at 60. It's all from the lack of sleep. Something interesting approaches. And the main reason why I booked accommodation outside the city, actually way outside the city, is today's Friday, and in this state their weekend is Saturday and Sunday. So I'll start my commute tomorrow morning into the city. So hopefully by it being the weekend, it's going to be quieter, so I'll be able to navigate those insanely busy and large roads. And they're not small roads, they are massive roads. And there's massive blades on here, so this must be like some type of heat exchange. A massive landfill on the other side there. It seems like it's got massive coolers, and then there's also massive towers. Those big towers is definitely got to do with releasing fumes, gases, almost like an exhaust. They're not cooling towers. I think those big square structures with 6 massive fans at the bottom, I think that's where the cooling process happens. So there must be some type of cooling, heating and cooling going on there. I couldn't spend much time there because it's right, literally on an arc, a corner, where there's a landfill where all of the garbage trucks are going in, and it's insane there. I couldn't bear any more. This is all brand new industrial properties, just waiting to be taken occupancy, and probably some of our shoes and cell phones or whatever have you will come from here when it says made in Malaysia. That's what it looks like inside. There's the landfill in the distance that I was talking about. All these brand new industrial premises. They all got these electrical power boxes on the outside of them, and they only 415 volts and giving out 400 amps, so they're not really big places. This whole area, massive area, all a new industrial park. Brand spanking new park, but they still got their open sewers. I don't mind these industrial areas, at least the roads are massive. Truck drivers must be thinking, what the hell is this guy doing in an industrial area with his Hawaiian shirt on? Oh boy. We see it all, we see it all. I love construction sites. I love it. Especially the industrial ones. They're the best. I love seeing all of these different machinery and all the large scale. And at least I got a brand spanking new piece of asphalt to cycle on. This is my environment as well. Well, that was definitely interesting to cycle through. I'm happy that I planned this little bit of a detour this morning. It's quite lekker. I love to see places like this. Now it's time to go to the real hell. Just to pass through a little town. I don't even bother stopping to get something to drink or to eat. I'd rather just starve and find some rundown place next to the road to get something to drink. It's just the drivers are so toxic in this place that it's just so unappealing. I just prefer just to blaze through the towns. Find some back alleys to cycle through. Typical town. School's out. Oh, buggies must run now. But I love these towns, eh? And what's the point of even owning a car, yeah? Best is just to get off the bicycle and literally just walk to get through. I don't know. And I've been to Cambodia. That's one of the poorest countries in the world, and it's one of my favorite countries in the world. But yeah, I can't say that Malaysia will make it anywhere in my top favorite places of visiting. Yeah, it's one of these roadside dilapidated places where at least you can stop and get something to eat and drink. At least I got an ice cream. Let's see how the capital's gonna look. Maybe all of the wealth is poured into that city, and the infrastructure is got itself in order, and the roads and drivers are better. Let's see how that turns out to be tomorrow. New mission: finding the biggest roads that allow cyclists on it. Basically, the biggest roads before it becomes a toll road is what I'm gonna now be looking for, because the smaller back roads, they're the most dangerous ones. The drivers are fucking retards. They're toxic. There's no space for you to cycle on. These bigger freeways is better, so I'd rather just stick to them. At least on these big roads I can do between 35 and 40 k's, and I can match the traffic speed in some places. The back roads, they all just shit. They're the true death traps, yeah. There's no space for you to ride on. The drivers are fucking brainless. They will overtake you on a blind corner where there's literally zero shoulder to ride on. You know, they've got zero common sense, no courtesy as well. Big roads, I can zip between the traffic as well and follow the motorbikes. You've got to make the best of your situation and figure out all those ways through. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my legs, my quick thinking, and just make a new way, a complete new way. All those small little side roads, they aren't working. They're not working in this country. I'm just gonna take the big roads and go with the flow of the traffic. Just go with what I'm capable of doing, and I'm capable of high speeds and maneuvering around traffic. So I'm gonna put that to my advantage. Yeah. so far this strategy is working much better, much better. And I'm fast on my feet, and if I can fly with the traffic, then I'll do so. And if I can zip and dash through all of the traffic jams, I can do so. So that's going to be my new strategy. Right, my accommodation is over here. It does look like it's in a Chinese area, so at least I'll have decent food to eat tonight. Apparently my bicycle will be safe over here. Well, there's the room. Plain simple. Gotta take on smells of Murphy. The lobby is just around the corner, and they didn't want me to bring my bicycle in here, but yeah, I think this place is 1,000 times more dirty than my bicycle. Typical food court here. It's all just cash, and you go to one of the kitchens and you order what you want, and then you sit down and you have your food. Bon appetit!